It's 5 p.m. You suddenly remember that one task, the one you've been avoiding all day. The deadline is tomorrow. You open your laptop, you take a deep breath, and then you check your phone, just for a minute, maybe a quick scroll, maybe one video, maybe something to warm up your brain. But somehow an hour disappears. Now you're in the kitchen, then you're reorganizing something that didn't need organizing. Then suddenly it's late, and your brain whispers, let's just start fresh tomorrow. You know it's a bad decision, but you still make it, again, and again, and again. This isn't laziness. This is something far more dangerous. This is procrastination. And the scary part? It doesn't happen because you don't care. It happens because you care too much. Most people think procrastination is about poor time management, but that's not true, because you already know what to do. You're not confused. You're avoiding. There's a difference between delaying something for a reason and avoiding something even when you know it will hurt you. That second one, that's procrastination, and it's irrational. You're choosing short-term relief over long-term pain. But here's the twist. Your brain thinks it's helping you. When you think about starting that task, your brain doesn't see it as work. It sees it as a threat, not a physical threat, but an emotional one. Fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, fear of starting something you might not finish. And deep inside your brain, a system activates. The same system designed to protect you from danger. Your brain triggers a stress response. Adrenaline rises, your heart rate shifts, your body prepares, not to do the task, but to escape it. So instead of writing that report, you clean your room, you scroll social media, you watch videos, not because you're lazy, but because your brain is trying to protect you from discomfort. And in that moment, avoidance feels like relief. But that relief comes at a cost, because the task doesn't disappear. It grows. The longer you delay, the heavier it feels, the harder it looks, the scarier it becomes. And now something strange happens. The task itself hasn't changed, but your perception of it has. Tomorrow's work feels harder than today's. Next week feels impossible. And this is how the cycle tightens. Avoid, relief, guilt, stress, avoid again. You're not just delaying work anymore. You're training your brain to escape anything that feels uncomfortable. And the worst part? It works, at least temporarily. Every time you avoid the task, your stress drops, just a little, and your brain learns, this works, do this again. And just like that, procrastination becomes a habit, not of laziness, but of emotional survival. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Not everyone procrastinates the same way. Some people delay occasionally. Others feel stuck in it constantly. So what's the difference? It's not intelligence. It's not talent. And it's definitely not just discipline. The real difference lies in something most people ignore: emotional regulation. People who struggle to manage their emotions are far more likely to procrastinate, because for them, the task isn't just work. It's discomfort, it's pressure, it's self-doubt. And when your brain associates a task with negative emotion, it will do anything to avoid it. Think about it. You don't procrastinate everything. You don't delay watching your favorite show. You don't avoid things that feel easy, enjoyable, or safe. You only procrastinate the things that make you feel uncertain, inadequate, overwhelmed. And here's something most people don't realize. The more you delay a task, the more painful it becomes in your mind. Studies have shown something fascinating. When people are actually doing the task, they often report, it's not that bad. But when they're avoiding it, they rate it as extremely stressful, even unbearable. So the stress isn't coming from the work itself. It's coming from the anticipation of it. In other words, you're not afraid of the task. You're afraid of how it might make you feel. And this is where perfectionism enters the game. A lot of procrastinators aren't careless. They're the opposite. They care too much. They want their work to be perfect. They want it to be impressive. They want it to be right. And that creates pressure, because if you start, you might fail. If you try, you might not meet your own expectations. So your brain chooses a safer option. Don't start at all, because as long as you haven't started, your potential is still intact, untested, unproven, safe. But this safety is an illusion, because while you're protecting your ego in the short term, you're damaging your confidence in the long term. And slowly, a new belief forms inside your mind. I'm the kind of person who doesn't follow through. That belief is far more dangerous than any missed deadline. Now, let's clear something important. Procrastination is not laziness. Laziness looks like no energy, no interest, no effort. But procrastination, it looks like constant distraction, busy doing unimportant things, thinking about the task without doing it. That mental tension, that guilt, that constant awareness, that's not laziness. That's internal conflict. You want to act, but something inside you is resisting. And over time, that resistance turns into stress, then anxiety, then even burnout, because you're not resting. You're just avoiding. And here's the most dangerous part of all. Procrastination actually rewards you. Every time you avoid the task, you feel temporary relief. Your stress drops, your mind relaxes, and your brain goes, good, do that again next time. So you do, and the cycle strengthens, until one day, avoiding becomes automatic. You don't even think about it anymore. You just drift away from the work.